It's D-backs baseball on a sunny, hot L.A. Thursday afternoon. The swan song for this four-game series at Dodger Stadium and the finale for the season series. D-backs already with their first 2 wins in this ballpark on this stop. Today a chance to win the series and a sensational pitching matchup in store for you. It's the D-backs and the Dodgers, the final time in 2015 on Fox Sports Arizona. And good afternoon from Dodger Stadium. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. This is it, 2015, D-backs and the Dodgers. And what a way to close out this season series. The Major League strikeout leader Clayton Kershaw up against D-backs lefty ace Patrick Corbin. Patrick, Bob, has really been good lately, at least 6 innings in each of his last 5 starts.
Yeah, 25 strikeouts over that stretch, only 5 base on balls, or rather 5 runs allowed. He has just been on top of his game. We talked about it last start. Patrick Corbin is maybe one of only a few guys in the game that want the season to continue. He is just in mid-season form right now. Love to watch Patrick pitch.
Haven't got to watch Clayton Kershaw pitch too much against the Diamondbacks. They've only faced him one time all year. That was April 11th at Chase Field.
Yeah, they really got on him in that ball game. Took advantage of every mistake he made in the game. But as we know, this guy is a legitimate Cy Young candidate. Along with Madison Bumgarner, kind of gets lost in the shuffle because of the success of Jake Arrieta and Zach Greinke. But Diamondbacks had a good game plan against him at Chase earlier this year. Hopefully they remember how they did it.
This is going to be fun afternoon baseball from Los Angeles. The D-backs and the Dodgers in the series finale. And can Goldie set a Diamondback record? He's homered in his last 4 games in this ballpark, trying to make it 5 here as the D-backs go for the series win in Los Angeles. Arizona is brought to you in part by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the new spicy nacho chicken sandwich munchie meal tonight, only at Jack in the Box.
Well, we're just moments away from the start of the fourth and final game of this series. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, Southern California, Dodger Stadium. I'm Todd Walsh inside the Diamondbacks dugout here. Before we get to the first pitch, I think we sort of have to remind ourselves and reset. We might get immune after seeing Paul Goldschmidt and his exploits day after day and night after night. Let's remind ourselves of the numbers that he has put up against these Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. This is remarkable. He's homered now in 4 consecutive games. Last time that happened, 2005, with Chad Tracy. I talked about Paul Goldschmidt with his manager Chip Hale earlier today. He said, you know, I think he'd be the first one to admit that he hasn't been the best version of himself since the All-Star break, trying to find that game, overcome the fatigue of this 162-game season, and he certainly has done just that. And I asked Chip if there's anybody he's ever seen along the way that reminds him of Paul Goldschmidt. He said no. Closest perhaps in terms of the mental approach every day, Paul Molitor, but even Paul Goldschmidt bigger physically in the stature there that he brings to the game. Probably should have told Paul that we nominated him for the Grand Marshal of the Rose Parade, but we'll get to that later. When we come back, it's hot here. You know what happens at Dodger Stadium. Steve and Bob have the call.
Patrick Corbin strikes out the side in order. Called strike 3. Kershaw rings him up. Got him. Clayton Kershaw strikes out the side. And here is Clayton Kershaw. What a way to set up the season finale against the Dodgers for the Diamondbacks this afternoon as we conclude this 4-game set in L.A. and take the road trip over to Petco Park for the weekend. D-backs 4-2 so far on this 10-day, 10-game trip through San Francisco, L.A., and San Diego. And what a pitching matchup we have in store for you here this afternoon on Fox Sports Arizona. Your Arizona Ford starter for L.A. is Clayton Kershaw. Hard to believe he's still only 27. He leads the major leagues in strikeouts, already a career high, and the 4th highest single season total in Dodgers history. His ERA this year, 3rd best in baseball, behind only Zach Greinke and Jake Arrieta.
I mentioned it in the open of the show, along with Madison Bumgarner, 2 left-handers that are having years that are probably Cy Young worthy, but they'll be left in the dust by Jake Arrieta and Zach Greinke this year. Clayton Kershaw nearly a 7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Very simple arsenal, a 4-seam fastball that he can command all around the strike zone. Hard slider and a big overhand curveball, and if he's feeling that curve, you'll see it more often than the slider. If he's feeling the slider, you'll see it more often than the curve.
D-backs have faced Kershaw only once this year. That was back on April 11th at Chase Field when they hit him pretty hard. David Rackley is our plate umpire. A hot and sunny day just after noon local time in L.A. We are underway with ball 1 to Ender Inciarte.
We showed you the arsenal for Kershaw, and certainly a great competitor out there on the mound. One thing that we don't pay enough attention to, I think, is his deception. He's got a lot of herky-jerky, hippy-dippy movement in his delivery, both out of the windup and the stretch. Very tough to time his deliveries.
Crowd still trickling in here. Fighting that LA traffic to get to the ballpark this morning. There's the strike, and it's 1-2 on Ender, who begins the ball game top 10 in the National League in hitting. He's at .302 with 4 home runs. This does get a piece of it. Well, he swung and missed. Ender Inciarte is out. And here's the liner for Chip Hale's Diamondbacks.
Ender Inciarte in right field. Aaron Hill getting the start at second base today. A.J. Pollock once again in center field. Paul Goldschmidt cleaning up at first base. Wellington Castillo back in the lineup after a couple of days off. Yasmani Tomas will be out in left field. Brandon Drury moves over to third. Chris Owings at short, and Patrick Corbin on the mound.
Aaron Hill. First pitch swinging. Schebler. Long run in from right field, and the rookie runs it down. 2 quick outs for Clayton Kershaw.
You mentioned a bright, hot, sunny afternoon here at Dodger Stadium, and the guys on the left side of the infield right now are going to really be battling that sun in the early part of the ball game. Just based on the shadows we see behind the players, Justin Turner, Jimmy Rollins, and Justin Ruggiano on the left side are going to have some issues early.
2 down for A.J. Pollock. A.J. 0 for 4 last night. That snapped an 11-game hitting streak. A.J. 5th in the league in hitting. He's at .319. And with 18 home runs, including his homer here Tuesday night that bounced off the top of the center field wall and then over. That's as he and Goldie went back-to-back in the 7th inning of that ball game. Kershaw ahead 0-2.
A.J. has spent a lot of time at the top of the fence on this road trip. The great play he made in San Francisco. 2 near misses here at Dodger Stadium trying to steal home runs, and his own home run hit right off the top of the fence.
Trying to hit the reset button here against Kershaw. No balls and 2 strikes. Ellis hangs on to the foul tip that time. 2 strikeouts in the inning for the major league leader, just underway in Los Angeles. Is your Arizona Ford, starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks. He's been outstanding lately. Just one loss in his last 10 starts, coming off a win at San Francisco Saturday. The ERA for the year now is under 3. He is 3-1 in his last 4 starts.
I kind of boxed the numbers in the open of the show. In his last 5 starts, he struck out 25 batters, only walked 2, giving up 5 runs over those 5 starts. You see his arsenal for the ball game today. Everything's been working for Patrick lately.
Sure has. He has gone just over 25 innings now without walking a batter. He has looked better and better every time, coming off Tommy John surgery. Don Mattingly this afternoon has loaded his lineup with right-hand hitters, and Justin Ruggiano will lead it off. Ruggiano, .259 on the year with 5 home runs. You saw his numbers just with the Dodgers. In the leadoff spot this afternoon because he's been a productive bat, as you saw in his brief time at LA. And overall this year is hitting .315 against left-hand pitching. He's got 4 homers versus lefties.
Well, we speculated in the first game of the series that this is a guy that might find his way onto that postseason roster as part of a platoon with Andre Ethier. A lot of question marks on that Dodgers postseason roster. I tried to get Rick Mundy and Charlie Steiner to commit to their 25-man postseason roster, and they said there's way too many question marks right now to pick 25.
There's way too many question marks, Bob.
There's a bouncer to Aaron Hill at second. Well, the biggest question is certainly the bullpen in terms of performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be tricky to pick the offensive lineup. They have a number of ways they could go there. This is the way that Don Mattingly has selected the lineup today. Very right-hand heavy.
Yeah, Ruggiano in left field. Rollins making his way to the plate at shortstop today. Justin Turner back in the lineup at third base. Howie Kendrick at second. Scott Van Slyke at first base for Adrian Gonzalez today. A.J. Ellis doing the catching. Chris Heisey out in center. Scott Schebler, the only straight left-handed hitter in the lineup. He'll be out in right field with Clayton Kershaw on the mound.
The switch hitting Jimmy Rollins. Rollins at .220. He's got 13 homers. The former Philly singled and walked last night. His first start since September 6th. He's had a sore right index finger. Only 5 at-bats over the last 2.5 weeks.
Kind of anxious to see in the ball game last night how Jimmy Rollins would throw, but apparently had no issues. All of his throws were right on the money, very firm. As you can imagine, a right index finger for a guy that throws right-handed, that's a very important part of your game.
Yeah, wears a big oven mitt when he runs the bases. Patrick misses upstairs, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count, 3-2. This is in the air, out to Ender Inciarte, fighting that sun. Boy, it is bright out there. 2 down for Justin Turner. Turner has returned to the lineup for LA. He has not played since leaving Saturday's game here against the Pirates with left knee soreness. .290 this season, 15 home runs, and comes into today with a 6-game hitting streak. They are calling it a bone bruise and tendonitis in the knee. And he's had to rest the last few days, his first appearance in the series.
Kind of odd to play the Dodgers and not see Adrian Gonzalez in the lineup. He's got decent numbers against Patrick Corbin this season, 4 for 13 with a home run, but no Agon today. Scott Van Slyke instead getting the start at first base, so Adrian's trying to cover himself from the sun down there in that third base dugout.
A lot of their big lefties not in the starting lineup. Gonzalez and Seager and Peterson. Ethier. Drop that in there for a strike, and it's 2-2. Patrick Corbin says the elbow feels great coming off the Tommy John surgery. He has not had an issue with that ever since he's come back, really. And we up here see the consistency coming back for Patrick. And he says it seems like the last 6 starts or so, his arm is really catching up to the rest of his body. The conditioning is there. The body is getting used to going through this again every 5th day or so. And he's just sorry that the season is coming to an end. He wishes he had a bunch more starts.
Well, can you imagine if his season began in this stretch of his last 5 starts and still had another 27 to go after this?
I think that's exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah.
We have seen the old consistency that made him an all-star 2 years ago before the surgery. 3-2 on Turner, 2 outs. Now to Ender Inciarte coming in, and he's got it. A 1-2-3 first for Patrick Corbin. We are scoreless in Dodger Stadium with Goldie coming up.
On AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. As always, we welcome you. We thank you for your service.
Here's Goldie, 6th in the league in hitting now with 31 home runs. He has hit a homer in every game in this series and has homered in 4 straight games at Dodger Stadium. That ties Chad Tracy's D-backs record set 10 years ago. 317. Shoots this one out to Schebler, and it drops in front. A base hit for Goldie. Unbelievable, huh?
His first inning numbers are just so ridiculous. I mean, a lot of guys kind of ease their way into a ball game and don't really get up to full speed until their 2nd or 3rd at bat. I mean, Goldie hits the ground running in the first inning every night. It's a good thing because he's usually on base.
Tony La Russa was talking about that as Wellington Castillo steps in. And Tony said it's just a testament to how ready Goldie gets for the beginning of the ball game. Tony was saying, most everyday position players 162. The general rule, according to him, is a lot of players, about the second at bat, you start to really feel the engine get warm, you play better. But to get ready like he does for your first at bat, that's got to be a special discipline and motivation.
Yeah, I called it the first inning. It was his first at bat. We're so used to seeing Goldie hitting that 3 spot and take his at bat in the first inning. But yeah, you're absolutely right, and Tony's absolutely right. He's ready to play as soon as that anthem is over. Let's play ball. Which must make him a nightmare on those rare days he doesn't play.
A little fidgety, probably.
Yeah.
Just back in time. Quick throw over from Kershaw. And as you mentioned, Bob, a little bit of a perfect storm here. We were joking before the ball game. You've got Balkin Bob Davidson over there at first, the umpire, and a pair of lefties on the mound in Kershaw and CORBIN. So watch those moves to first.
Now, Kershaw's had 3 balks called on him this season. None for Patrick Corbin.
Center field, a base hit for Beef Wellington. A pair of singles off Kershaw to open up the D-backs second. Nice 2-strike hit there for Wellington Castillo.
Stayed right on that curveball, timed it perfectly. Just a little hitch there as he stayed back and then drives that ball into center field. D-backs at first and second. Nobody out for Yasmani Tomas.
Tomas 2 for 7 in the series, including a home run here Monday. He's at .282 on the year. Shoots it the other way. That's a base hit. Here comes Goldie. Andy Green will wave him home. He will score. And the throw is into third. Not in time to get Castillo. RBI single for Yasmani Tomas. 3 straight base hits have made it a 1-0 D-backs lead.
That inside out swing by Yasmani Tomas gets rewarded for trying to do the right thing. Dunks it out there into shallow right. Schebler's throw coming up to third base, way over everybody.
Boy, a chance to really get to Kershaw right here in the second inning. Still no outs. They're on the corners for the rookie Brandon Drury. Strike one. Brandon 278. He's got 6 RBIs, a pair of doubles and a home run so far in his young big league career.
And this was kind of the plan of attack against Kershaw when the Diamondbacks beat him back in April. Go to the opposite field, stay up the middle of the field, look for pitches up in the zone.
Now Kershaw in that started chase April 11th, 6 1/3. Allowed 6 runs on 10 hits against the Diamondbacks. He also walked 3 in that ball game. Goldie got him for a home run in the 7th, and that was the last batter he faced. 1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, you get to Kershaw here early like this, and you've really done something. 10 career starts against the D-backs here at Dodger Stadium. He's 5-1 with a 1.47. This is unfamiliar territory for Kershaw against the Diamondbacks. In there for a strike, 1-2.
You'll see a lot of strikes on the corners of that zone, both up and in, up and away, low and in, low and away. That's Kershaw's goal, is to just dot those corners. We have a moment. Let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the ball game today. Make them count against Clayton Kershaw. You don't know how many base runners you're going to get in a ball game, so when you get guys on, make them count. And get used to it. For Patrick Corbin, facing the opposition's ace, that's what you run up against when you're the ace of your team. And certainly moving forward, Patrick Corbin figures to be the ace of this team, so get used to it.
Brandon battling here in his first look at Kershaw. Boy, Clayton Kershaw cruised through an 8-pitch first with 2 strikeouts. But he has yet to retire a batter here in the second. Still 1-2. Castillo at third, Tomas at first. Boy, Brandon Drury is battling here. Brandon 5 for 12 in the series, a double, a home run. He's got 4 RBIs. And a home run here Tuesday night. A 3-run shot, the first of his career. And the 8th pitch of this at bat coming up.
You like this at bat for Brandon Drury. First look at Clayton Kershaw. He's going to see everything he has.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, you love that.
Well, you look at Brandon Drury lately and you're reminded that he was so good in spring training. He may have been their best hitter all spring.
Yeah.
15 spring training games to get .435 with 3 homers. 8 pitches so far in the at-bat, 5 straight foul balls. And he finally got him. Chased a high one there. 3rd strikeout for Kershaw. And the first out in the second.
Number 16, Chris Owens.
Pretty good chance that's by design from Clayton Kershaw. His fastball command is what sets up everything. And facing a young, aggressive hitter who was apparently in swing mode, he tried to elevate up and out of the zone and got the swing and a miss.
Got to try and at least get Castillo home from third here with 1 out. It's Chris Owings, CO 235. 1 for 8 in the series. Had a base hit and scored a run Monday.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Missed with that one. A ball and a strike to Owings. Wellington Castillo's at third. Yasmani Tomas after the RBI single down at first. 1 out, and the pitcher Corbin on deck.
Just note the location of these pitches as we show you the Fox tracks today for both these lefties. Rarely do they make mistakes in the middle of the plate.
Got the center fielder Heisey shaded way over toward right center field with a 1-2 count on Owings. Just missed with that fastball away. David Rackley not biting back there. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can see Chris Owings front side, front leg, front hip kind of opened up after Kershaw had pounded him in earlier in the at bat. That time just froze on that pitch just off the outside corner.
And he got him. 3 straight Diamondback singles open up the inning. With Kershaw against Drury and Owings, and now with 2 outs, it's Corbin.
Patrick Corbin.
Why are we not surprised? Josh Colmenter is building a lean-to out there in the Diamondbacks bullpen.
Might be a duck blind or something. Hot day out there.
Find the shade.
Two on, 2 outs for Patrick Corbin. D-backs got the run in on the Tomas RBI single. They had first and third, nobody out. Trying to put that crooked number up there. You're happy to have the 1, but against Kershaw, you're not going to get too many chances. Clayton Kershaw, 5 strikeouts through 2 innings. He strands 2, but he gives up the game's first run. Yasmani Tomas, the RBI single, makes it 1-0 Diamondbacks. 1-0. Fans, you can keep up with the pennant races in spectacular HD quality on MLB.TV Premium. You can watch every out-of-market game live on more than 400 supported devices. You'll get real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and more. Visit MLB.TV today. And Bonnie Tomas, the RBI single. D-backs lead 2, but they get 1. And now Howie Kendrick will lead off the LA second against Patrick Corbin.
You know, we showed you the shot of the Diamondbacks bullpen guys trying to get some relief from that bright afternoon sun here at Dodger Stadium. But at some point, if the Diamondbacks get activity in their bullpen, that's going to have to come down because the Dodgers can't see the pitchers warming up in the Diamondbacks bullpen.
Oh, the poor Dodgers.
Well, competitive advantage, you know.
Howie Kendrick. Well, the bullpen phone wasn't working, so... a little payback.
Spent all the money on the Death Star.
That's money well spent. You can hear it in Brazil. Patrick Corbin reaches out. Boy, just made that so cleanly, quickly, no problem, no panic.
First baseman number 33, Scott Van Slyke.
Scott Van Slyke, part of this right-hand heavy lineup for Don Mattingly today, spelling Adrian Gonzalez at first base. And just another reason why Van Slyke can be a valuable bat for LA. Make the occasional start at first, especially on a day like today, day game after a night game against a tough lefty like Corbin. His 7th start this year at first. He's hitting .244. He's got 6 home runs. Patrick coming off an 18-pitch 1-2-3 first. Ground ball out and 2 flyouts to right. This is on the ground to shortstop for Chris Owings. 5 up, 5 down for Corbin.
Catcher number 17, A.J. Ellis.
Well, Clayton Kershaw is on the mound. That means A.J. Ellis is behind the plate. The personal catcher.
Pretty good guy to attach yourself to if you're A.J. Ellis. Your career might be extended by
as long as it possibly
years.
can. 230 and 6 homers. Although with Yasmani Grandal really banged up with that bad bruise on the left shoulder, Ellis has played more often than once every 5th day over the second half of the year. He hit just a .191 last year, was the backup catcher, and lost the starting job to Grandal, but he's picked up the pace. Actually, since July 1st, he's hitting .275. And drives this toward the left field corner. That'll roll all the way to the bullpen wall. And it's an easy stand-up double for A.J. Ellis, his 8th of the year, and the first hit for the Dodgers.
Elevated fastball up and out over the plate. That's the plan of attack for the Diamondbacks against Kershaw. I'm sure the same thing for the Dodgers against Corbin. See it up.
So Ellis at second, 2 outs. It's the center fielder, Chris Heisey, the former Cincinnati Red. Heisey 163. He's had only 2 extra base hits all year. He's not played all that much. Fewer than 50 at bats all season long. Are there similarities for you, Bob, between Kershaw and Corbin, other than the fact that they're both good and they're both left-handed?
Not so much. You know, Patrick with that very smooth delivery. There's not a lot of deception there. He just relies on his location and his stuff to get hitters out. Kershaw features that big curveball I mentioned at the top of the show. When he's got that pitch working, that's a real good weapon for him. Patrick is just basically fastball slider. And they're both tremendous competitors. That's the biggest similarity. You give them the ball, they expect to go out there and give their team a better than average chance to win the ball game every time.
Patrick has certainly done that lately. 3-1 in his last 4 starts. This there, he's behind 3-1. The only left-hand bat in the starting lineup, other than Kershaw, is on deck. It's the rookie Scott Schebler.
And with that in mind, don't be surprised to see a breaking ball on a 3-1 pitch to Chris Heisey right here. Don't want to give in with a base open and a lefty on deck. There's a slider to the back door for a called strike. That's a pitch that a lot of right-handed hitters will give up on. They see that ball start that far over in the left-handed batter's box. They just assume it's not going to move enough to get back to the strike zone, but Patrick pulled it all the way back to the middle of the zone that time.
Came in with a fastball. Heisey rips it to left. Tomas makes a leaping catch. Yasmani Tomas at the track runs it down, and they strand Ellis at second base. That was smashed out there. Tomas reaches up and gets it. It's still 1-0 D-backs. Yasmani Tomas lose 20 pounds. They think it'll give him more mobility next year. Pretty mobile here, Bob. Going up to get that one.
And we've talked about it all year long. He's a much more athletic guy than you would think given his build, and it makes you wonder how much better could he be if he did drop a few pounds. Even a little quicker on his feet, get a little better jumps on the ball, but a nice running catch to keep the Dodgers off the board right there.
Yeah, that was a fastball that Heisey turned on. That was really well hit. Headed to the base of the wall out there in left, and Tomas saved a run. And now Ender Inciarte, who struck out his first time up, a lead off the third against Clayton Kershaw. Turner in on the grass at third. And there's strike one. Tomas right now, we are told, is at 258 pounds. Dave Stewart says they'd like to see him about 240 for spring training next year. And Stu put it simply, he just said he'll be a much better player at 240 than he is at 258.
Well, that Kershaw curveball, especially when he takes a little bit off, looks like a rainbow. Starts out of his hand, goes straight up in the air, and then straight down.
Well, when you've got that and a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, that's just not fair.
8 out of 10 first pitch strikes for the Dodger lefty today. Nothing unusual.
This one's got a chance to get down, but it stays up there for Heise in left center field. First out here in the third.
Number 2, Aaron Hill.
Brings up Aaron Hill. Aaron flied out to right at his first at bat. And a lot like Don Mattingly did, Chip Hale has loaded up his lineup with right-hand hitters against the lefty Kershaw. Ender Inciarte, the only position player who bats left-handed in the starting lineup. So a start for Aaron Hill at second, and he's down 1-2.
That is a wicked curveball.
Kershaw so far, 5 strikeouts. That gets him up to 277 on the year. 4th highest single season total in Dodgers history. And they've had a few pretty good strikeout pitchers over the years. A 1-out knock for Aaron Hill. 4th hit for the D-backs.
Number 11, A.J. Pollock.
Well, we have a moment here. Let's take a look at today's cold hard facts, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Diamondbacks outfielders this season with a 21-point edge over the Nationals for highest batting average. And keep in mind, the Nationals is mostly driven by Bryce Harper's ridiculous numbers, but Diamondbacks have spread the wealth this year. Inciarte, Peralta, Pollock, Yasmani Tomas, all contributing to that 301 number.
AJ struck out to win the first. AJ Pollock leads the National League with 82 hits since the All-Star break. Batting .346 in the second half of the year. That's 3rd best in the league, behind only Joey Votto and David Peralta. Funny, the Nationals, people are going to look at the bullpen and the meltdown, and they're going to say, well, it was the bullpen. They had all the pitching. They couldn't finish the games off. But you look around that lineup offensively for Washington, other than Harper, a lot of those guys had terrible years offensively. Ian Desmond, just go around the diamond.
A lot of guys that could be pitched to had holes in their swing. Those holes got exploited with regularity.
They lost Denard Span to injuries. Worth was hurt for a long time. Rendon was hurt. He didn't really do much this year. Desmond really struggled. And this will be remembered as the year that the Nationals collapsed, when everyone just about picked them to go to the World Series with all that pitching.
And those that weren't picking the Nationals for the win the National League East were picking the Marlins. So swing and a miss.
It always works out that way. We were talking yesterday about predictions, and in the American League, everybody was on the Mariners, everybody was on the White Sox. Teams that made some changes in the offseason. Padres, that didn't work out so well. AJ ahead, 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 out, Aaron Hill at first. And Kershaw loses Pollock. So here comes Goldie. 2 on and 1 out.
Number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
First walk for Kershaw. Goldie singled and scored his first time up. His 6th hit in the series. 3 of those hits are home runs. And that one is in the hole and into left. Andy Green will wave Aaron Hill. Here's the throw from Ruggiano. It's cut off. And it's an RBI single for Goldie and 2-0 Diamondbacks. He is now better than a .360 career hitter in this ballpark.
Might have gotten a little lucky there. Picked on a low pitch and kind of smothered it, but hit it hard enough through that left side. And Ruggiano doesn't throw particularly well out there in left, so that's an easy run scored for Aaron Hill.
5 hits for the D-backs. They lead it 2-0.
Nice. One of our keys. Make them count. When you get base runners against Clayton Kershaw, you're not quite sure when the next one could be. So take advantage every time you get a runner on base.
Wellington Castillo a base hit his first time up. Kershaw got the loss in his previous start. That was last Saturday here against the Pirates. 3 runs on 7 hits. He went 7. This is a fly ball. Out to Ruggiano in left.
Number 24, Yasmani Tomas.
2 on and 2 outs now for Tomas, who drove in the game's first run with the RBI single in the second.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Kershaw at 50 pitches, 35 strikes. A.J. Pollock at second, Paul Goldschmidt at first. Talking about Dave Stewart and his observations on Yasmani Tomas. Stu said he was real satisfied with the rookie season for Yasmani. And he thinks the future is bright for Tomas. Next year, he says you'll see a big jump in his performance. He's been through a lot. It's been a long year. After the exit from Cuba, the showcases in the Dominican, the tryouts, the negotiations, everything. You forget it's been a pretty busy calendar year for Yasmani Tomas. Oh, 0-2. The CBO on the job. Dave Stewart has been here all week too, former Dodger. Tony, first thing he did when he walked up to press row here on Monday was to greet Vin Scully. Just saw those two standing there talking and thought, wow, that's a lot of baseball right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Couple of Hall of Famers.
It's probably not good to ask either one of those guys. Have you ever seen? Well, yeah, you probably have.
They can fill some hours at a banquet or two, telling stories, that's for sure. And we've got the latest episode of D-Backs podcast coming up. Should be online, hopefully by the weekend. And we got some of those stories from Vin Scully, who spent about 15 minutes with us, and just a real treat. Talking about Ebbets Field and the Brooklyn Dodgers and why next year will be it for Vin Scully. He'll call it a career after next season, he said. Tomas waves at that one. Ellis will complete the strikeout. That's 6 strikeouts for Kershaw. But Goldie gets the RBI single. Diamondbacks get the 2-0 lead.
Yet for this year, have you?
No, we have not.
I want to float one name at you. Just think about it.
Okay.
Paul Goldschmidt of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He is America's first baseman. He embodies all the spirits, I think, of a parade like yours. Just throw that out there. Just put it on the wall, okay?
I'll see what happens. We'll stick it up there and see what happens.
Steve and Bob, a little lobbying yesterday or a couple days ago at the Rose Palace, Phoenix Decorating Company, where they make a great portion of the Rose Parade floats.
The Phoenix Decorating Company.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
At the Rose Palace.
I didn't know that.
Former rock and roll venue, and members of the Rose Bowl committee were there. And, Vin Scully was the Grand Marshal a couple years ago.
Well, if Vin can be Grand Marshal, then Goldie can.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean,
America's first baseman.
That's if Soupy Sales is unavailable.
Okay, here we go. Let's take you through match game 74.
Scott Schebler strikes out. First strikeout for Patrick Corbin to open up the LA third. Well, I got to say, the guy didn't seem all that convinced.
Yeah, it was just throwing a name up on the wall, floating one out, if you will.
Well, that's how it starts.
Right. And they have not named Grand Marshal yet. Last year was the late, great Louis Zamperini. They honored him posthumously, and it was a thrilling, I think, very poignant tribute to him. But I don't know about you. It works for me.
I'm in.
Okay. Bob?
I'll vote for that. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Goldie could be like Ferris Bueller in the movie when he's
nice.
when he's on, he's singing on the float in Chicago, going down the street. That'll work.
So Goldie would never think about skipping a day of school.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
He never did when he finished up his online coursework. He would be on the road doing his homework.
I will say, though, that life moves pretty fast.
Oh, I see what you did there. You know what? It seems like we've gone to you 9 times over the course of this year.
It feels like that.
Thank you, Grace. I think you're wrong. Clayton Kershaw 2-2. Well, I don't know who you could get that's better than Goldie.
No.
Now, did you get to watch them do all this? I guess you did, right?
It's unbelievable. There are welders there, designers, painters. There's a guy that runs the engines. Those things go 2.5 miles down the road. The guy that drives the floats can't see, so that's why you see those lines down the middle of, I guess, Colorado Boulevard. There's a spotter at the front talking to the back to the driver, and they don't put the flowers on until a few days before. And I understand too, Steve. There's a shot in the left center,
and that'll drop in between Tomas and Pollock. It's a single for Kershaw, just the second hit for the Dodgers.
I'll leave you with this.
Yeah.
When those floats come back, filled with flowers, last place you want to be a month after the Rose Parade. Apparently the Dirty Jobs crew was there to witness that. The aroma changes from fruity, fragrant roses to, we got to get these things out of here.
Is that the guy that always wears the hat?
Yes, Mike Rowe, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Rowe. He's always got that hat on. That's like his thing. All right.
Okay.
Surprised he's not the Grand Marshal.
Goldie for
Grand Marshal.
You
I
heard
like
it
that.
here first.
Hashtag Goldie Grand Marshal.
No, in Los Angeles, it'll probably be one of the Kardashians.
Somebody from She's Got Talent season 12 or something.
Well, she finished 15th.
All right.
All right, man.
I don't know. We had Alan Thicke here singing the national anthem the other day. Maybe we can get Alan Thicke if Goldie can't do it. Need somebody big. Ruggiano. Swing and a miss. 1-2. That's trouble. Headed for the left field corner, and if it stays fair, it's gone. It's foul. That's why they like Ruggiano. He's got some real pop from the right-hand side, and he just missed taking CORBIN out of here.
And Don Mattingly doesn't have the best angle to look at that ball down the left field line, so he looked at Ron Renicky, his third base coach, who put his hands about 3 feet apart and then pointed into foul territory. Didn't miss by much.
Gave it to Pudge Fisk right there. Pudge just went off the foul pole. That one just to the left. Patrick left that pitch up. 1-2. Ruggiano only 15 games with LA this year, but he's had 3 homers and 11 RBIs. They picked him up from Seattle at the end of August, and it turned out to be a nice extra piece.
Well, the Dodgers have had pretty good success against the Diamondbacks without Justin Ruggiano, but every successful team, if you look at their roster, somebody jumps up from nowhere that you didn't expect to be a contributor or not to contribute to the level that they have, and Ruggiano gave them exactly what they needed when their outfield was dinged up.
Full count, 3-2. Jimmy Rollins on deck. Kershaw at first, 1 out. All 4. First walk issued by Patrick Corbin. 2 on, 1 down for Rollins.
Number 11, Jimmy Rollins.
Bit of a 4-corner tactic here by the Diamondbacks. Goldie first went to the mound, now joined by Wellington Castillo. I think they just want to give Patrick Corbin a little opportunity to catch his breath out there and regroup and get his focus back for this at bat against Jimmy Rollins.
Rollins flying out to right his first time up, the switch hitter, batting from the right-hand side against the lefty Corbin. He's just over 300 this year as a right-hand hitter, but all his power is from the left-hand side. Clayton Kershaw, the runner at second, Justin Ruggiano at first. Got a chance to stay playable for Goldie, but it's in the seats, and he's got it. Goldie takes that one back. And a big out, number 2. Put that on your Rose Bowl float.
Yeah, that's a huge out right there. Number one, because it gives the Diamondbacks 2 outs in the inning here, and number 2, only 1 pitch to retire Jimmy Rollins. Patrick Corbin's had to work pretty hard in this inning. That's a big bonus, a 1-pitch out.
And then the quick turnaround to make sure nobody was tacking up. Patrick right at 50 pitches, 32 strikes. Here's Justin Turner, who flied out his first at bat. A ball and a strike. Turner playing for the first time since last Saturday. He's had tendonitis and a bone bruise in his left knee. Had an MRI on Monday. They determined the only thing they could do is give it some rest. So here he is in the series finale. Center field, AJ coming in, and he's there. He's got it in the left center field gap. Patrick Corbin walks the high wire, but strands 2 and keeps it a 2-0 Diamondback lead. On Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you in part by Phoenix International Raceway. Join PIR on November 15th for NASCAR. Visit us at phoenixraceway.com and get your tickets now. And by Arizona Restaurant Week. Go tasting with your buds during Arizona Restaurant Week, September 18th through the 27th. Visit ArizonaRestaurantWeek.com for all the details. Final visit to Los Angeles this year. Diamondbacks have a 2-0 lead as we start the 4th inning. Clayton Kershaw versus Patrick Corbin from here in L.A. Are you an L.A. guy? You're not an L.A. guy.
Not even a little bit.
What is it about L.A. other than the Dodgers that might not strike your fancy?
Well, I'm not a big fan of traffic, and this is where traffic started.
It was invented here.
Invented right here. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the selfie, and that also started right here, possibly at Dodger Stadium.
Now here's your real highlight.
Yeah, the Death Star. Man. I've had a lot of dental work over the course of my life, and it's shaken every filling in my mouth loose.
It's been kind of quiet today. Maybe it's a day game thing. It's kind of nice. 1-1 on Brandon Drury. And Brandon's been chasing those high ones from Kershaw today. That's the pitch that got him on the strikeout in his first at bat.
Yeah, we heard Chip Hale the first game of this series against Brett Anderson talking about, I don't care if guys chase balls up out of the zone. We want them to get in the mindset of seeing the ball up. Don't swing at a pitcher's pitch where you're likely to make a quick out.
This is headed toward the wall in left, and that ball is gone. He's done it again. Brandon Drury, his second Major League homer, both here at Dodger Stadium. This one's off Clayton Kershaw, and it makes it 3-0 D-backs.
Number 16, Chris Owings.
That's Brandon's 6th hit in this series.
It looked like a curveball. Oh, yeah, up above the belt, just kind of hung there in the middle of the plate for him. That one had directions on it. Keep your shoulder in there, keep your eye on the ball, don't overswing.
So a run in the second, a run in the third, and now one in the fourth for the Diamondbacks. Here's Chris Owings. This is along the right field line, playable for Schebler. One away. Brandon Drury. This is a series that he's going to remember for a long time. He is 6 for 14, a double, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs.
He certainly doesn't seem to be in awe of anything, whether it's Dodger Stadium, Clayton Kershaw, the big leagues. Just give him a bat and get out of the way.
Yeah, he is a player. Brandon Drury is a player. We've listened to Diamondbacks front office people tell us for a couple of years now, keep your eye on Drury. The folks that go down and watched him in Visalia and Mobile and Reno, they have seen what's coming with that young man. Well, you don't often see Bob Kershaw just throw up hanging nothing ball up there like that.
Well, even the best make mistakes sometimes. The key is being ready to take advantage of those mistakes.
And Brandon didn't miss it. Just sizes this one up.
Yeah, there's just the slightest of hesitations. We saw it on Wellington Castillo's base hit back in the second inning on a curveball. Not so much that time for Patrick Corbin, but the hitter's ability to get the front foot down, that split-second pause, and keep their hands back in a good hitting position, and then just drive that curveball when it's up in the zone.
2 outs now for Ender Inciarte. Ender 0 for 2 so far. Ender's got a 5-game hitting streak. He's got 10 hits in his last 5 games. And once again, Turner comes in on the grass at third base. And it's ball 1. Ender hitting just over .230 versus lefties this year. That number down about 40 points from last season. Two and two. Diamondbacks have out-hit the Dodgers 6-2. They lead it 3-0. RBI singles by Tomas and Goldie. A solo homer by Brandon Drury is second in this series. Well, I tell you what, if I was an opponent, I would hate to play against Ender Inciarte. He just must drive guys crazy. He runs everything down in the outfield. He's got a cannon for a throwing arm. And he is the peskiest of pesky hitters.
He runs the bases like his hair's on fire. You never know when he might try to turn a single into a hustle double. Turn a double into a hustle triple. Constantly putting pressure on the defense.
And third in the National League in base hits since the All-Star break. Ender has hit .317 in the second half of the year. Kershaw now at 70 pitches, 49 strikes. He gets Ender to chase that one. That's 8 strikeouts for Kershaw, but the Diamondbacks get a run for the 3rd consecutive inning. It's the rookie Brandon Drury. His 2nd big league homer makes it 3-0 D-backs.
On the Brandon Drury home run, I mentioned very similar to Wellington Castillo, almost imperceptible, but watch the slight pause right there, ever so slightly. Same thing for Brandon Drury. Starts his swing, gets that front foot down, recognizes curveball. It's almost imperceptible, but if you break it down frame by frame by frame in the video room, there's a definite slight pause there as they wait on that off-speed pitch, and both guys hit it hard.
That is just the adjustment coming off the fastball?
Yeah. Always ready to hit the fastball and then adjust to off-speed pitches, and that adjustment sometimes is just ever so slightly hitting that pause button.
Look at that stop by Aaron Hill. He spins and throws. Retires Howie Kendrick to open up the LA 4th. Aaron Hill at second base. Wow.
Number 33, Scott Van Slyke.
Nicely done. Ball came up quite a bit for as hard as it was hit, and Aaron had his glove in exactly the right spot.
One down for Scott Van Slyke, who grounded out his first time up. So far, the Dodgers only 2 hits against Patrick Corbin. He has walked 1 and struck out 1. That is smashed into left, a base hit for Van Slyke.
Number 17,
A.J. Ellis. Ellis doubled into the left field corner in his first at bat. Patrick Corbin coming off a tremendous start against the Giants Saturday at AT&T Park. 7 full innings for just the second time since the Tommy John surgery. Allowed only 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, and kept the Giants scoreless. Look out right by the second base umpire, and that screened Aaron Hill. Hunter Wendelstedt was right in front of him. And Dan Slike is in at third. A potential double play ball there. Ends up with Dodgers at first and third, still just one out. And they give Aaron Hill the error on that one.
Well, that's a tough error. You're absolutely right. He was screened by the second base umpire, Hunter Wendelstedt. Just gets right through the wickets into right center field.
The umpire is part of the field of play. That's a tough E4. Chris Heisey smashed one almost over the head of Tomas and left, and Yasmani ran down at the warning track to save a run. Made a great catch to win the second inning. Bullpen busy for the Dodgers. Juan Nicasio.
Just a couple spots away from Clayton Kershaw's spot and trailing by 3 runs in the ball game. If you get a chance to get down there, you'll probably have an opportunity to score some runs.
Yeah, Don Mattingly there watching the scoreboard. They're counting every out here. A 7-game lead over the Giants is out the NL West with only 11 to play. And LA's magic number for clinching the division title is down to 5 games after the Dodgers win here last night. And the Giants walk-off loss in San Diego. Jed Jerko, the walk-off winner for the Padres at Petco Park. 1-2 on Chris Heisey. He can't check. Second strikeout for Corbin. 2 down in the fourth.
Yeah, speaking of the Giants, they play the Padres later tonight at Petco Park.
Number 30, Scott Shepard.
Madison Bumgarner against Ian Kennedy.
All right, then.
All right, then.
So here's the lefty, the rookie Scott Schebler, getting the start in right field today. Van Slyke is the runner at third. And A.J. Ellis the catcher at first. Schebler struck out on his first at bat. They like this guy. He's got good power. He's got 3 home runs in just 14 career big league games. And other than Kershaw behind him, the only left-hand bat in the lineup today for Mattingly. Kershaw is out there in the on-deck circle. Waves at that one. Corbin ahead 0-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls, one for a called strike, one leading Schebler right out of the zone. Well, a lot of different ways you can go now. You could elevate a fastball. You could push him off the plate with a fastball. Bounce another breaking ball in the dirt, try to get him to chase. That's when you really have a hitter at your mercy. Just don't make a mistake.
He didn't. Strikes out Schebler. 3 strikeouts for Corbin, who punches out 2 and strands 2. Diamondbacks lead at 3-0. Here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Guess who's up in the 5th?
take a look at our Geico This Day in Major League Baseball history. Yeah, we show you Vin Scully because he probably called this game. D. Fondy, a first baseman for the Pirates, becomes the last player to ever bat at Ebbets Field when the Dodgers beat the Pirates 2-0 in that ball game. Of course, they moved out west, played at the Coliseum for a couple of years while Dodger Stadium was being built. The last player to ever bat at Ebbets.
Talked to Vin Scully about that on our upcoming D-backs podcast episode, and he talked about finishing second for the season by one game on the last day of the year. I believe it was 1950, and walking down to the parking lot and watching Carl Furillo, who had flied out to end the ball game with a tying run at third, I want to say, something like that, and just watching Furillo pack up and go to his construction job in the off season.
How about that?
And that was it. And he said, sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. He didn't at that point, and they went home.
It was a different game back then. As you mentioned, most of the ball players had to take winter jobs in order to make enough money to afford to be a major league ball player for another season.
A lot of guys sold insurance or cars or something. Aaron Hill. This is along the left field line, but a foul.
Wow, nice catch. Oh, geez.
Wow, easy.
Go easy there, Biff.
He's really fired up. Aaron Singleton scored his last at bat. He's 1 for 2. Hits this one right at Rollins. Take another look at the young lady out there.
Yeah, nice backhanded play. Reaches up over the back of the row and snags it. That's why you bring your glove. Nice going.
And
oh, my.
It's like the football guys who knock heads with the helmets. A.J. Pollock has struck out and walked 0 for 1. Along the right field line, headed toward the seats and out of play.
Watching that young man clothesline that lady after that great catch. I had another one of those get off my lawn moments last night watching some highlights. I get celebrations and I get that walk-offs are a big deal, but somebody's going to get hurt.
Well, we saw it with Kendrys Morales years ago when he fell on home plate in Anaheim.
You get a game-winning base hit and your teammates come out of the dugout and tackle guys in the middle of the infield, rip their jerseys off. I mean, come on. Act like you've done it before.
You just want to suck all the joy out of the game, Brenly.
I just know that if my starting shortstop, Carlos Correa in this example, gets hurt in a dog pile, I'm not going to be real happy with the rest of the boys.
Is that the Astros you're talking about last night? Well, that's why they have Club Astro, where they turn the clubhouse into a disco after every win. They dance. It's a dance off, and they have Club Astro. You would think they would save it for that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Here's Goldie.
And you just know, given the way kids are nowadays, they want to impersonate or do exactly the same thing that all their idols do. Some little leaguer is going to drop a full bucket of Gatorade on another little leaguer's head and put him in a hospital one of these days.
Here, let me show you how to work your phone. Well, Goldie doing Goldie things in Dodger Stadium. That means basically tearing the place down. He's got 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Buckled him there. It's 0-2.
See, another example that happened recently, the Notre Dame defensive back that deflected a touchdown pass and jumped up in celebration with his teammates and blew out his knee.
He crewed himself.
Oh, come on. When the celebration is harder and more physical than the actually play itself, well, maybe you ought to tone it down just a tad.
You may have a point. Goldie strikes out. 9 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw, but the Diamondbacks have a 3-0 lead. One more look at this nice catch. Just take it easy on the celebration.
Just go easy.
Kershaw being told by his manager, Don Mattingly, that he will be pinch hit for to lead off the bottom of the 5th, and Kershaw is less than happy.
Ooh, this went on for quite some time between innings. Kershaw trying to make his case. Don Mattingly is not going to have it. I mean, you certainly respect the competitive nature of Clayton Kershaw to want to go back out there and at least keep his team in the ball game from this point forward, give his team a chance to get back in it. But Don Mattingly, as managers have to do, looking at the big picture. You're trailing by 3 runs. You've got to score to get back in this ball game, and you've got the potential postseason berth hovering out there in the future. And I'm sure Don Mattingly just wants to save his star left-hander a few pitches here today.
And so Austin Barnes will take the at-bat for Kershaw in the 9-hole to lead off the 5th. Keep in mind also, Kershaw coming off a 9-pitch 5th inning. He has retired the last 6 he's faced. He's only thrown 80 pitches in the ball game, but he is done after 5 innings.
And he got a base hit in his only at bat of this game. He might have been arguing, I'm a better hitter than Austin Barnes.
And he might be right. So Kershaw done after 5, trailing 3-0. And with 1 out, here's Justin Ruggiano. That's the pitching line for Clayton Kershaw. Remember, the Diamondbacks hit him pretty hard in their only previous look at Kershaw. Chase Field, April 11th. And Ruggiano dunks that into left center field for a 1-out single. And now he's going to try and move up, and the Diamondbacks throw it all over the field. He'll get third as it's in the seats. So what should have been a routine single to left center puts Justin Ruggiano at third base with 1 out.
That's very uncharacteristic, first of all, of A.J. Pollock to make an errant throw back to the infield, but then for the Diamondbacks to just be standing and watching. Nobody backing up this play. Airmails Aaron Hill at second base. CORBIN tried to get there. Goldie tried to get there. Wellington Castillo standing behind home plate. I say it all the time. There's something to do on every play, even when the ball's not hit to you. Somebody has to back that play up.
That is a single. The error on A.J. Pollock, E8, puts Ruggiano at third. And here's Jimmy Rollins. Rollins 0 for 2. There's the second Diamondback error in the ball game. Aaron Hill had a tough error assigned to him after he was screened on a hard smash to second by the second base umpire, Hunter Wingelstead.
Ruggiano, the hitter, I mean, he saw right away that A.J. Pollock was going to get to that ball.
He did not go, says Bob Davidson.
As I mentioned, Ruggiano looked like he was content to just round the bag at first. A clean single into center field. Take a turn, take a look, and then he sees that throw is going to airmail everybody, so he decides to go ahead and head on to second base, and when it bounces out of play, he's awarded another 90 feet, standing at third with nobody out.
And it's a 4-pitch walk to Jimmy Rollins, and suddenly CORBIN has runners on the corners and only 1 down.
And this worked last time. Goldie and Wellington Castillo making their way to the mound.
Second walk issued by Patrick. Justin Turner will be the hitter. He's 0 for 2. Juan Nicasio continues throwing in the LA bullpen. Looks like he'll get the 6th. And Patrick Corbin at 74 pitches with some work to do here. Time to take down the duck blind out there. Get some guys maybe loose. Five straight balls for Corbin. Patrick in that effort at San Francisco Saturday, 7 scoreless against the Giants, was very efficient. He needed only 80 pitches to get through 7. He's at 75 right now through 4 1/3. And he's having trouble throwing strikes. It's 2-0. Andrew Chafin is going to start to throw for the Diamondback in the bullpen. 2-0. Misses. That's 7 straight balls. He did not go, says Bob Davidson. Back-to-back walks have loaded the bases with 1 out for Howie Kendrick. Here comes Mike Harkey. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks. Patrick has pitched at least 6 full innings 9 times in his last 11 starts, including his previous 5 in a row, but he's really going to have to work to get out of this 5th. Kershaw's day already done. Bases loaded, 1 out for Kendrick, who's 0 for 2. He has twice grounded out.
Kershaw's done pitching today. I don't think his day is done. I think there's going to be a lot more conversation between he and his pitching coach and skipper after this one.
That's 9 straight balls from Patrick Corbin.
This is a situation in the past you'd see Howie Kendrick try to drive that ball to the opposite field. Most pitchers, when they have runners in scoring position, try to pitch away from a hitter's strength, and usually that means pitching him away, and Howie Kendrick is well aware of that, and he looks for pitches out over the plate to drive to right field.
Just like that, he drops it into right center. Ruggiano scores. They wave Rollins. The throw is cut off, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
Howie Kendrick has worn that label of professional hitter for a long time, and this is why. Know the situation, know what that opposing pitcher is likely to try to do against you, and then make the adjustment.
Howie Kendrick, 15 games against the D-backs this year, has got 12 RBIs, and that will do it for Patrick Corbin. Andrew Chafin on the way in. Diamondbacks trying to hang on to what is now a 3-2 lead. standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One. Great taste, no face, available at local retailers. Los Angeles Diamondbacks had a 3-0 lead. Dodgers have got 2 in the 5th, threatening more here. So Chip Hale goes to his bullpen. You've got the right hand hitting Scott Van Slyke coming up, Bob, but Chip brings in the lefty, Andrew Chafin.
Yeah, a little surprising to see the lefty come into the ballgame. Now, Chafin has been almost equally effective against righties and lefties this year. Left-handed batters hitting only 190, righties 214 against Chafin. I think this just gets down to a confidence factor at this point in the season. This is the guy Chip Hale wants in this crucial part of the ballgame.
Andrew leads the Diamondbacks with 42 inherited runners this year. Only 13 of those have scored. He comes in with Turner on that bad knee at second, Kendrick at first, 2 runs in, and Scott Van Slyke steps in. Van Slyke singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. It takes a lot to get his swing cranked up.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like run out in front of a Model T and cranking it up, or spinning the propeller on an airplane. Contact.
Yep. Van Slyke and Justin Turner both. A lot of moving parts. The high leg kick. Everything has to be absolutely perfect to get that bat in the hitting zone at just the right time.
Chafin ahead quickly. No balls and 2 strikes.
Back-to-back off-speed deliveries to start this sequence. A lot of oohs and ahs from the Dodger fan, but clearly right there at the bottom of the strike zone.
And he waves at that one in the dirt. Wellington Castillo and David Rackley, a little bit of a disagreement there.
I think Van Slyke thought the ball perhaps hit in the dirt, making it just a foul ball.
But with first base occupied, it's an automatic strikeout. Yeah, he didn't get a piece of it. Well, he doesn't need to catch that to get the strikeout. There's a runner at first. And then Wellington took a shot, it looked like. So Chafin comes in, gets the immediate strikeout, and now with 2 outs, it worked to A.J. Ellis. Ellis has doubled and reached on an error.
Chafin, good breaking ball today. Keeping it down in the zone. A lot of movement.
Former first-round pick by the Diamondbacks out of Kent State, Andrew Chafin. He's had a brilliant rookie season working out of the bullpen, a converted starter. You could tell when we first saw Andrew, Bob, and I think that's why he's so good in these situations. He's got, to put it politely, backbone. He's got a lot of attitude out there, the good kind. Onions, as Bill Raftery might say. 1-1.
You have to have some of that if you're going to come into situations like this and expect to have any success. You've got to come in there with confidence in your stuff, aggressive nature. Andrew has all of that.
He seems to be a very good fit for this role. Justin Turner with the tying run at second. Howie Kendrick, the go-ahead run at first. 2 outs, 1 and 2 on A.J. Ellis. Rackley won't bite. 2-2.
Talk about it all the time. Pitch of action. You want something to happen right here if you're the Diamondbacks. You don't want that count to go to full. Get those runners in motion. You mentioned Turner's nursing a gimpy knee. I'm not sure if he can score from second base on a base hit to the outfield. Don't want him in motion.
Missed with it. It's a full count. 3-2. Runners will be off for the pitch. Turner at second and Kendrick at first. Well, he tried to snatch it back toward the outer half, but Rackley says ball 3. A.J. Ellis, a very patient hitter up there. He will make you come to him. There go the runners. Fouled away. He has been for a long time among the major league leaders in pitches seen per plate appearance, and this at bat is a great example of why. Three and two, 2 outs. There go the runners. Ball 4. They're loaded for Chris Heisey. Third walk in the inning issued by Diamondback pitchers.
Center fielder, Chris Heisey.
Boy, Ellis's patience really won the battle there in that at bat. So here's Heisey now. He lined one right at Tomas, almost over his head and left his first time up. He struck out in his last at bat, 0 for 2. Turner at third, Kendrick at second, and Ellis at first. Ball 1. Heisey's at 157 for the year. He's had only 2 extra base hits all season. He has spent most of the year in AAA, both with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. About 80 minor league games. He hit 223. Drives this toward the left field corner, and that ball is gone. A home run. Chris Heisey, a grand slam, takes it out of here, sneaks it just inside the foul pole in the left field corner. And it's a 6-3 Dodger lead.
Middle of the plate breaking ball that time after burying so many of those sliders in the dirt to get swings and misses. Left that one right over the heart of the plate, just inside the foul pole.
And suddenly Clayton Kershaw, who was very angry with his manager Don Mattingly for taking him out of the ball game down 3-0, is in line for the win. 6-3 LA. And David Rackley waiting for a hitter. By the way, 3 walks in the inning for the Diamondbacks, 2 by Corbin, 1 by Chafin. All 3 scored as Heisey takes the curtain call. Alex Guerrero is going to come up now and hit for Scott Schebler. Chris Heisey, just his 3rd extra base hit all year. And Guerrero is the 9th man to bat in the LA 5th. Sends this out to left center. And it's off the base of the wall. Alex Guerrero in with a 2-out double. Enrique Burgos will start throwing in the Diamondback bullpen.
After a nice start to his outing, keeping that ball down. Everything straying up over the heart of the plate now.
And you'll recall that shot of Clayton Kershaw and his emotional exchange in the Dodger dugout with his manager, Don Mattingly, after Mattingly pulled him for a pinch hitter. It was Austin Barnes who led off this inning. And now the Dodgers have batted around. Barnes will hit for the second time here in the LA fifth. Kershaw left trailing 3-0. He's now up 6-3. Dodgers have batted around. Barnes has a chance to make 2 outs in the inning. Austin Barnes, the ASU Sun Devil, had a good year in the minors this year. Played at AAA Oklahoma City, hit .315 there with 9 home runs. Chafin behind, 3 balls and 1 strike. Aaron Hill at second. And the inning finally ends, but it's a 6-run Dodger fifth. They lead it 6-3. Coming down to the wire, starting on Fox. A battle for control of the National League wild card. It's the Pirates and the Cubs. And then the Brewers take on the Central leaders, the St. Louis Cardinals, in a game you can only see on FS1. Coverage starts Saturday at 9:30 on Fox and continues at 3:30 on FS1. Whole new ball game here in LA. 6-3. Diamondbacks trail it now. And Juan Nicasio, the new pitcher, a host of changes for LA after they come up with a 6-run fifth. Wellington Castillo will lead it off for the Diamondbacks. Well, he has singled and flied out 1 for 2. New third baseman is Alex Guerrero, who came in to pinch hit for Schebler. Jock Peterson takes over in center for Chris Heisey. Heisey has moved to right, replacing Schebler. .97 from Nicasio, a ball and 2 strikes. Pitcher spot is still 9th in the LA order. Peterson will hit 3rd. Well, he checked, says Bob Davidson. Duck and covered. Nicasio came up and in.
Always dangerous when you turn into the ball the way Wellington did right there. Fortunately, no damage done, but really exposed his face, his hands, his wrists.
Up and in, they go down and away. He lays off, and it's a full count, 3-2. Got him. Hey fans, now's the time. Tweet us your strongest fan photo on the Twitter with the hashtag and the whole thing AZ-StrongFan. You might see your fan photo in a Diamondback broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Yasmani Tomas. Tomas, an RBI single in the second. He struck out his last time up. And he's down 0-1. Well, all certainly not lost. You're still only down 3, and Kershaw's out of the game. So there's that.
This Dodger bullpen has been stumbling along here at the end of the season.
That's 2 really hard hit balls to left field by Chris Heisey. The one that Tomas made a terrific running grab on to save a run. That was the play on which the second inning ended, with Ellis at second base and 2 outs. And then the grand slam that he tucked in just inside that left field foul pole. Enrique Burgos continues warming up for the Diamondbacks. This was the play that Yasmani made. Got a runner on second, 2 outs, and Heisey smashes one over his head. Yasmani leaps up and gets it to save a run. And then Heisey later in the ball game hit the grand slam in the left field corner. His first home run all year. Still 1-2 on Tomas. This is out to Heisey and right, backing up, still backing up, drifting back near the track, and he's got it for the second out in the 6th.
baseman Brandon
Brandon Drury homered in his last at bat to lead off the fourth. That's going to be our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. The rookie with his second big league homer, both coming here at Dodger Stadium.
Found the pot of gold at the end of that curveball rainbow from Clayton Kershaw. Left that one up around the letters, and Drury did not miss it.
It's the second time in as many series that a Dodger batter, and to be fair, an extra outfielder type, has hit a grand slam. Remember, Ruggiano hit a grand slam September 11th at Chase Field, and now today it's Chris Heisey here in LA. Patrick Corbin really had problems finding the strike zone. 9 straight balls thrown in that bottom of the 5th inning, and it really led the way to a big Dodger inning, a 6-run 5th.
Well, this is another thing you like about Brandon Drury. For a young hitter, he gets himself into good hitters' counts. Laid off a couple of sliders off the outside corner, took a pitch down in the zone that time, below the zone actually, to run the count to 3-1.
And he's got himself a base hit. It rolls to the corner. Drury will take the turn and head for second. And he's in there standing up, Brandon Drury. That's his 3rd big league double.
Just has a great idea of his own strike zone, how to set up a pitcher, get that count in your favor, and then take an aggressive swing at a fastball down and out over the plate. Rips it out there into left field.
He's 2 for 3 today. 7 for 15 in the series. 2 doubles and 2 home runs. He's at second with 2 outs for CO. Chris 0 for 2. Pitcher spot is due up next should Owings reach, and Jared Saltalamacchia is out in the on-deck circle. Enrique Burgos has been warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. There's a strike going along. Boy, Salty's been swinging the bat lately. Get CO on base here. Gives Salty a chance to tie it right back up with 1 swing. Two 1 pitch. Missed away. 3 balls and a strike. Good take there by Chris.
I thought we might see the Nicasio slider against Chris Owings, a pitch that he's had some issues with this year, but so far all fastballs trying to hit that outside corner.
Going back down there again. Fastball right by him. 97. It's full 3-2.
You don't have to get all three of them back at once. Just find a way to get guys on the plate, take advantage of your base runners, just like they were able to do against Clayton Kershaw. Got to do the same thing here against the Dodger bullpen. Big 2-out knock here.
Nicasio just consistent, 97, 98. CO keeps fighting him off. There is some action in the Dodger bullpen. They've got a lefty up down there. One more time on 3-2. Good at bat by Chris Owings. He works the 2-out walk, and now Salty will get a chance. J.P. Howell is warming up in a hurry down there. And he's ready. And as per usual, a little slow on the uptake, so they'll have to go into a four-corner stall here to buy some more time. Rick Honeycutt going to go through the whole thing now. As maybe they're thinking about at least trying to switch Saltalamacchia around. Salty, 6 of his 9 home runs this year have come from the left-hand side. Somebody in the Dodger dugout may have just noticed that. And Howell has been warming up quickly. He looks like he's done down there. He stopped throwing. But behind him, you've got Ender Inciarte.
Yeah, it, on the surface would appear that Howell would be the guy for this situation. As you mentioned, turn Salty around to the right side of the plate where he has less power than as a left-handed hitter. And then should Salty reach, you've got another lefty, Ender Inciarte, up after him. But Don Mattingly going to stick with Nicasio.
Jared Saltalamacchia at 220. He's got 9 homers. He's got a pair of hits and an RBI in this series. He has started behind the plate the last 2 nights.
He's due. 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts against the Dodger right-hander.
That may be another reason why Nicasio is still in there. Salty 7 for 23 as a pinch hitter this year. One and two.
A good rib at that one, middle of the plate fastball. Big velocity from Nicasio. Nice swing, but fouls it straight back.
Amy Garcia, the right-hander, will join J.P. Howell in the Dodger bullpen. He threw it to Santa Barbara. Kerrigan at third, Owings at second.
Wants an elevated fastball. That's what you get. AJ,
I'm not going to put that down as a pass ball.
No,
no.
No.
That was a more than a little wild. So a chance now to get 2. Anything through the infield will score a pair here and make it a 1-run ball game. 2-2, 2 out, second and third. Got him. 97, Nicasio throwing gas throughout the inning. Strands the double and the walk. Diamondbacks had a chance there, but it stays 6-3 LA. Rest of the road trip, Let's Go Places, brought to you by your Valley Toyota dealers. Diamondbacks right now 4-2 on the 10-day, 10-game trip through San Francisco, LA, and now San Diego. So we'll finish up here on the bus to San Diego. Ruby De La Rosa and Casey Kelly tomorrow. Jeremy Hellickson and Robbie Erlin on Saturday. Elise Chassin and James Shields on Sunday, which will be the final road game of the year. We're back home for the Rockies and the Astros, and then, BB, you will be a full-time grandpa.
Full-time. I'm always a full-time grandpa, but I'll be able to devote more of my time to being a full-time grandpa.
Enrique Burgos, the new Diamondback pitcher, and Carl Crawford will hit for Ruggiano. Get the left-hand bat in there against Burgos.
I'll tell you one thing, we have no shortage of bus drivers heading down to San Diego. You know, the guys driving the bus over there at first base.
That's good. I like that. Nicely done. Crawford, 264 homers, 1 for 7 in the series. He did not start last night's game against the right-hander, Chase Anderson. He's got some bursitis in his left shoulder. But with the lefties, Corbin and Chafin out of there, he will hit for Ruggiano. I wonder if they'll all be doing that while we're actually driving on the bus or sitting in traffic.
Yeah, get some practice.
This is the one time a year where we go on the bus. Usually it's an airplane, but other teams do that East Coast. They'll take the train from New York to D.C. or New York to Philly, something like that, or take a bus. Diamondbacks always do that here. LA to San Diego once a year. This is out to AJ in center.
When you think about how much time it takes to pack up all the gear, put it in the moving truck, haul it out to the airport, put the entire traveling party on 2 buses, go to the airport in the traffic, get on the plane, fly to San Diego, probably get there just as quickly on the bus.
Yeah, usually with no traffic, it takes us just under 2 hours, about $1.50 or so. But that's usually like on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Tonight could be a little dicey.
We'll see.
Hitting that LA rush hour. Jimmy Rollins walked and scored his last time up. He's 0 for 2. Get ready. Ugh. It's already slowed down. See, that's why they need out here. They need a snake talk show. Probably wouldn't call it that, but you'd be stuck in traffic driving home. You could listen to snake talk.
I know I enjoy it.
It gets you home. Burgos can find it behind 3-0. Get used to that. Helicopters.
It's a good day. I don't hear any sirens
yet. Oh boy. Diamondback pitchers in this ball game. There's a 4-pitch walk.
Center fielder, number 31, Jock Peterson.
3 4-pitch walks in the ball game. 5 bases on balls in total issued by D-backs pitchers. And now we'll get our first look today at Jock Peterson. Here comes Chip Hale. And he's going to make a move. He's got another left-hander warming up. It's Keith Hessler. Silvino Bracho, the right-hander, throwing back there as well. But Hessler will come in to face Peterson. And we'll take a break. Back after this.
Tuesday, the D-backs take on the Colorado Rockies, followed by a 3-game series against the Houston Astros. Get tickets now online at dbacks.com.
That last Astros series is going to be big. Houston hanging on by a thread. In the West of the wild card, every game is going to be, well, basically the season for Houston. So come on down and join us at Chase Field, dbacks.com/tickets. That will be a playoff atmosphere. Should be a lot of fun. Good way to end the year. Keith Hessler, the left-hander, on to face Jock Peterson. Peterson 0 for 5 in the series opener. Sat out Tuesday's game against Robbie Ray. He was 0 for 3 yesterday with a strikeout. Just .215 on the year, does have 25 homers. One out here in the 6th. Rollins, the runner at first. There's a double play ball. The shift is on. And they'll settle for just the one. Nobody's at third. Heads up play by the veteran Rollins. You've got the rookie third baseman Brandon Drury over on the first base side of second with the shift on, and there was nobody near third base.
Well, that's one of the things that the Diamondbacks and all Major League Baseball teams will continue to explore moving forward. This pull shift is just fine and dandy. Somebody's got to get back. You see, Drury was busting it to second base to possibly turn a double play there, or was that CO? I don't know how everybody was aligned. I guess it was Drury. He was running to second base to be the pivot man in a potential double play, and nobody at third base.
And we'll go back to the bullpen. That's 5-3 on the putout. And it's 6-3 Dodgers as Silvino Bracho comes in back after this. The third baseman directly behind second base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt.
And I believe that's Chris Owings busting it towards second base. Drury decides there's no chance at second. I'm just going to take the sure out at first. And because Chris Owings was going this direction, that left third base unoccupied. Wellington Castillo was holding his ground behind home plate, and Jimmy Rollins very alertly just kept running. Nobody at third.
Yeah, both Aaron Hill, the second baseman, and Chris Owings, the shortstop, break for the second base bag. Aaron tried to do the end around there, and Rollins noticed there was nobody within 90 feet of third. Silvino Bracho now, the right-hander, to face Howie Kendrick with 2 outs and Rollins at third.
Well, that'll give teams something to work on in spring training other than the usual fundamental drills. Pull, shift, defense. What do we do when the ball's put into play? What if we can't get the force at second base? Who's going to cover third?
That's a tricky play for Aaron, who's shaded over toward the right field line to get all the way over there in time to cover second base. And you don't want to have it be the shortstop because obviously nobody's over there to stand at third.
You know, and I'm sure this will be explored and talked about and examined, but, you know, it seems like it's almost like basketball when you leave your man to pick up a guy who's loose and somebody has to leave his man and rotate in for you. It seems like the most logical guy to get down there is either the pitcher or the catcher. Yeah. But if Wellington Castillo leaves home plate, then it's incumbent on Paul Goldschmidt or the pitcher to make sure somebody's covering home.
It might have to be like a pitcher covering first base and a ground ball to first.
Go the other way, yeah.
Late swing by Kendrick just does get a piece to stay alive.
I'd be willing to bet money, though, if you go to the various spring training sites, either in the Cactus League or the Grapefruit League next year, that will be a fundamental defensive play that teams will start to work on more often.
Silvino Bracho with that sneaky fastball punches out Kendrick and strands Rollins. Diamondbacks able to keep it a 6-3 ball game. Lefty J.P. Howell on to start the 7th inning. Diamondbacks had a 3-0 lead. L.A., though, answered with a 6-run 5th, highlighted by Chris Heisey's grand slam off Andrew Chafin. And so it's a 6-3 ball game as we start the 7th. Carl Crawford, who hit for Justin Ruggiano, stays in the game and takes over in left. Inciarte, Hill, Pollock, 1, 2, and 3 for the Diamondbacks. Ender so far 0 for 3. Struck out twice against Clayton Kershaw.
Had a slight delay here as home plate umpire David Rackley ran back to the umpire's room between innings, probably just to get out of the sun for a few minutes.
Well, he's been drinking a lot of water back there. Got to hydrate.
Yeah, that too.
KJ Ellis is giving him the business.
I think he actually has a water bottle in one of the bags that he wears on either hip with game balls. I think there's a bottle of water in that one on the left side.
Yeah, he's got like a fanny pack thing going there.
Some groceries in there.
So Inciarte leads off the 7th. Guerrero in on the grass at 3rd. Ender hitless so far. He's got a 5-game hitting streak on the line. Well, he finally gets Kershaw out of there, and here he is. He's got to face another lefty. Two and two. A little roller to Rollins at shortstop. We're talking about all the travel the Diamondbacks are doing. This is a long one, the last road trip of the year. 10 games in 10 days, 3 cities. You know, it's not always easy on the road. You got to make do with what's around. And, you know, Major League Baseball and the teams try to take care of the players. But I was on the Twitter looking at what Daniel Hudson was saying. And Huddy tweeted out, you know, I start most days on the road eating well, and then I get to the park and In-N-Out Burger is waiting. And he says, damn it, I'm a weak man. Mattingly goes to his bullpen. Oh, time for a snack. We'll take a break. Continues to be your home for postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. So don't miss a moment of the drama and the history. It all begins October 8th on FS1 and and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The right-hander Yimi Garcia, we saw him Tuesday here in Game 2 of this 4-game series. Came on in the 8th inning. Struck out Aaron Hill and Chris Owings, the only two batters that he faced, and he'll work to Aaron Hill to open up his appearance here with 1 out in the 7th. Aaron singled and scored in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. In the air for Crawford in left center. Calling off Peterson. 2 down.
AJ
Pollock.
Running out of outs here, partner. Yeah. 7 left, and you know the last 3 will probably go to Kenley Jansen. Loop and a blast. Something quick before they have a chance to react.
Well, they had a good chance in the 6th inning. 2 on and 2 out, 2nd and 3rd, in fact, but couldn't get a run home. And now here's AJ. Bases empty, 2 down. Bounce to shortstop. Rollins. Dodger bullpen works a 1-2-3 7th. We stretch in LA. Diamondbacks trail at 6-3. Cox Gig Life high-speed highlights. Your Gila River game summary. Diamondbacks. Boy, they were in great shape. They led 3-0. They had Chase Clayton Kershaw, and suddenly a 6-run LA fifth highlighted by Chris Heisey's grand slam. And here we are, bottom 7. Dodgers lead at 6-3. And Scott Van Slyke is up there against Silvino Bracho. You know, it's funny, Bob. Diamondbacks won the first 2 games of the series. Their first 2 wins in this ballpark all year. And we thought, well, that's great, but ... You've got Greinke and you've got Kershaw. But then Greinke scratched. They lost last night's ball game. Kershaw was out of the game, down 3-0 here today. And they're behind here in the 7th.
Go figure. What a crazy game. Boy, and this one got away so quickly. Patrick Corbin was just mowing down these Dodgers, and all of a sudden just could not find the strike zone in that 5th inning. Chip Hale had to take him out of the ball game, and the bullpen just wasn't up to it today.
Yeah, Patrick Corbin at one point in that 5th inning when the wheels fell off threw 9 straight balls. And the Dodgers were issued 3 walks in that 5th inning. All 3 walks scored. 1 and 2 on Van Slyke. Silvino Bracho's done a really nice job since he came up from AA Mobile. He's shown a very sneaky fastball. And we hear this all the time. It's 92, 93, but it plays 95, 96.
Fast arm, really fast arm. Once he decides to commit to home plate.
I mean, right there, Van Slyke behind on that one. Silvino says it has a lot to do with his delivery. It's a herky-jerky, hide-the-ball kind of a thing. And he has shown himself to be a guy that could be a candidate for a bullpen spot in April next year. And a very good year in the minors. Foul ground, first base side for Goldie. Out near Davey Lopes. 1 down. Take a look at our State Farm report of the ball game. Dansby Swanson, the 1-1.
Catcher number 17.
First overall pick. He was hit in the face by Yohan Lopez fastball. Had concussion symptoms in his first professional at bat. Had to take a couple of weeks off. Finished up the year with Hillsborough. They had another great year there, the Hops, and those are Dansby's numbers. Had a walk-off in the playoffs.
19 runs scored in 22 ball games. You love that, guys that find their way to get on that plate. By all reports, Dansby Swanson, a really good base runner.
A.J. Ellis. Yeah, looking at Bracho in the minors. The Mobile Bay Bears in the Southern League, 37 relief appearances, a 1.81 ERA. He had 16 saves. 59 strikeouts in 44 innings. Guys just don't really seem to pick up the ball very well against this young man.
It's a hanging changeup or some kind of an off-speed pitch at 83 up there around the letters. I've said it before. That was so bad it was good.
Whatever works. Bracho pitched all of last year at Low A South Bend. He just dominated the Midwest League. Had a 2.08 ERA, 70 strikeouts in 43 innings. He gave up only 25 hits all year. Heise, who had the grand slam, is on deck. Diamondbacks 6-12 against the Dodgers this year, 2-7 at Dodger Stadium in the series and season series finale. After the game, on a bus headed to San Diego for 3 against the Padres starting tomorrow night. Castillo and Ellis, a little exchange there. The two catchers.
Maybe Wellington was trying to convince David Rackley that A.J. Ellis swung at that ball, and even if you get hit as you're swinging at a pitch, it still counts as a strike. But no swing whatsoever. Ball hit off the back of Ellis' hand.
Number 16,
Well, Heise was out in the on-deck circle as Ellis takes his base, but he has been recalled. And the left-hand hitting Andre Ethier will hit for Heise. Ethier 291 with 13 home runs.
Pours it in there at 94 miles per hour.
Ethier had a tough night last night, 0 for 4 punch-outs. Reaches out and drops it into left, a base hit. He stuck the bat out there. And the Dodgers have 2 on and 1 out.
This is a soft serve into left field. Looked like Andre Ethier had every intention of hitting the ball that direction. About a 3/4 swing. Just a little floating line drive in front of Tomas for a base hit.
Well, Alex Guerrero, who came into the ball game midway through, is coming up. He's been recalled, and Adrian Gonzalez will take the at bat. Gonzalez 278. He's got 28 home runs. And the Dodger bullpen gets busy. Baez and Hatcher, we've seen a lot of them in this series, both right-handers. Gonzalez in the series 2 for 11. Both hits coming Monday night. He homered and doubled. He was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Ellis is the runner at second, Ethier at first. In the air, Tomas at the track, in front of the wall, and he's got room. Allowed out number 2. And now we'll see Chase Utley. As Don Mattingly is using all 76 players available here today.
This inning suddenly turned into an old-timers game. Andre Ethier pinch hit for Heisey. Gonzalez pinch hits for Guerrero. And now Utley in the pitcher spot.
Get off my lawn. Utley 216, 8 homers. He doubled and homered last night. His only 2 hits of the series. They were big ones. He had the leadoff homer on the first pitch of the game from Chase Anderson. And then a double in the 8th to give the Dodgers the lead for good. This was the first pitch of the game from Chase. And Bob, to his credit, Chase really settled down after that. That could have been a disaster.
I'm telling you, it looked like it was one of those games that was going to go off the skids before it even got started. That leadoff homer on the very first pitch of the ball game. But yeah, to his credit, Chase did not let it bother him. One of his better games of the year after that first pitch.
He was terrific. I mean, you have to consider he hadn't pitched in 2 weeks. They had pulled him from the rotation. He sat out a while, a simulated game, some bullpen sessions, reworking on some things. He had lasted only 2 innings in his previous start. And the first pitch he throws is gone for a home run at Dodger Stadium. He could have knuckled under there, but boy, he stepped up big time. The only hit he allowed in 6 innings, 2 walks and 10 strikeouts.
And it was nearly a catch by A.J. Pollock out there in center field. The ball ticked off his glove as he made that leaping attempt at the wall.
2 balls, no strikes. Boy, the way Chase was mixing up that outstanding changeup, dropping that curveball in there for strikes. Elevating with a 4-seamer when he needed to. It was slow. It was fun to watch. At one point, he struck out 6 of the 7 batters he faced in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Two and 2. I mean, he had everything going. Chip Hale said the changeup for Chase was electric.
It really was. I mean, that's his best off-speed pitch, always has been, the one he has the most confidence in. But that changeup last night was exceptional.
just love to see that because he puts the work in. He really does. 2-2. Silvino Bracho getting a crash course in big league relief right here. Facing the likes of Ellis and Ethier, Gonzalez, and now Utley. Quickly find out this is not the Southern League. Matt Stites warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. But so far, Bracho hanging in nicely. 2-2 with 2 outs. You think Utley's got one more year in him from what you've seen this week?
Well, it's really hard to tell at this point of the season. Everybody looks a little worn down, a little frazzled. But, you know, given his history of knee problems, I just don't know if he can take the grind of a long 162-game season as an everyday guy.
He's 36. He'll be 37 in December. Silvino Bracho, a big pitch there, and he finally wins the battle with Utley and strands 2. Silvino Bracho keeps it a 6-3 ball game as we go to the 8th inning at Dodger Stadium. D-backs fans, excited to introduce to you the new Diet Pepsi. Same crisp and refreshing flavor you love, but now aspartame free. Pick up some today at your local retailer. It's the new Diet Pepsi. And the new pitcher for the Dodgers is the right-hander Chris Hatcher. And we've seen plenty of Hatcher certainly in this series. He's pitched in the last 2 games.
2/3 of an inning a couple of days ago. A run in that ball game. I believe he gave up Goldie's 30th home run that game 2 days ago. And then 2/3 of an inning last night, zeros across the board as Torreyes takes over at third base defensively for the Dodgers.
Ronald Torreyes and Andre Ethier will take over in right. You mentioned it. First batter that Hatcher faced when he came in Tuesday was Goldie in the 7th, and Goldie took him out of here for his 30th of the year. And Goldie leads off the 8th. A pair of singles, a run scored, an RBI. He's 2 for 3. And a chance in this at bat to set a new D-backs record. He has homered in 4 straight games here at Dodger Stadium. That ties Chad Tracy's D-backs mark set 10 years ago. It would make Goldie the first visiting player ever to homer in 5 straight games in this ballpark. That was the home run off Hatcher Tuesday. He's ahead 3 balls and a strike. Popped him up. Kendrick fighting the sun.
Catcher number 7, Wellington Castillo.
Wellington Castillo. 1 for 3 with a single. Still having a discussion with A.J. Ellis. I'm guessing there's some kind of catcher's bond, right? When you're head to head with the guy behind the plate and all the gear and everything you go through.
You can empathize, when your opposite number gets whacked with a couple of foul balls as he makes his way up to the plate. You might ask him, hey, how you doing? Hang in there. It's going to get worse.
Salty getting a day off after starting the last 2 games. A ball and 2 strikes.
A lot of big arms in that Dodger bullpen. They haven't been particularly effective lately, but a lot of guys that throw in the upper 90s.
Strikes out Castillo, 2 down. Yasmani Tomas. Back with you on Fox Sports Arizona for the final road series of the season. First of 3 in San Diego. Diamondback Live pregame show at 6:30. First pitch 7:10. Ruby De La Rosa and Casey Kelly. Jeremy Hellickson and Robbie Erlin Saturday. Yolis Chacin and James Shields on Sunday. An off day Monday, then the final homestand of the year starts Tuesday at Chase Field. 3 against the Rockies and 3 big ones against the Houston Astros. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. That final Houston series is going to be a lot of fun. 2 right-handers, Josh Colmenter and Matt Stites, warming up for the Diamondbacks. 0-1 on Tomas. 0-2. Monty not happy with David Rackley back there.
Somebody on there for Brandon Drury. Give him another shot at it.
He's had a big series, the rookie. Cannot check. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Hatcher. Diamondbacks as we head to the bottom of the 8th, trail at 6-3.
Back season ticket holder. Choose from full, half, series, or weekend plans. Check out all the exciting matchups for the next season, including an interleague series against the New York Yankees. Visit dbacks.com.
Bottom 8 in L.A. Matt Stites, his 10th appearance of the year. ERA just over 8.5. He'll work to the top of the order. Carl Crawford will lead it off. Diamondbacks trail at 6-3. Trying to keep it a 3-run game. They are down to their final 3 outs.
It's been pointed out that Don Mattingly in that bottom half of the 7th inning used $55 million worth of pinch hitters in Andre Ethier, Adrian Gonzalez, and Chase Utley.
$55 million bench. Whew. Well, you do the best you can with what you got.
I guess you have to.
It's going to be interesting to see the way Andrew Friedman and his front office rework the personnel here. They've got some work to do. They need some pitching. Their bullpen is not great. It's done the job today, though, certainly. They got some aging veterans in different spots. A bunch of extra type guys like Heises and Ruggianos and those guys.
Where's Yasiel Puig fit into all that mess?
What do you do there? He's basically been gone for half the year. Utley and Rollins. You know, Seager, lock him in for the next decade. And then there's the manager. He's seemingly always on shaky ground here, despite the fact they are about to win their 3rd straight NL West title. A lot of questions in LA in the offseason. Well, Matt Stites comes in and walks the leadoff man. That's the 6th walk issued by Diamondbacks pitchers today.
Shortstop, number 11, Jimmy Rollins.
Diamondback Live postgame show follows the ball game on Fox Sports Arizona. Lightning Todd Walsh will have reaction from the clubhouse as we load up the bus and head to San Diego. Rollins 0 for 2. He has walked twice. Game really changed in that 5th inning. Patrick Corbin had a 3-0 lead. Kershaw was out of the game, taken out for a pinch hitter. And Patrick really struggled throwing strikes. He threw 9 straight balls. As LA responded with a 6-run 5th, highlighted by Chris Heise's grand slam. And Kershaw very upset with Don Mattingly after he was pulled for a pinch hitter to lead off the bottom of the 5th. They had a heated exchange in the Dodger dugout. I wouldn't quite call it a confrontation, but Kershaw was visibly upset with his manager. I mean, this whole sequence was fascinating to watch, Bob, because the more Kershaw talked, the angrier he seemed to get.
And towards the end, I'm not a professional lip reader, but he said that's not right several times to Don Mattingly.
That if you're Mattingly in that situation, you got to just let him go, right? Well, I mean, let him talk as Rollins knocks it into right. Crawford will stumble around 3rd and hold there. Sort of let him have his say and don't turn it into a thing.
Yeah, but you'd like to take it out of sight. I mean, everybody knows these guys are all well aware that there's cameras all around the ballpark. A superstar caliber player like Clayton Kershaw, there's going to be a camera on him all the time. And, you know, when those things crop up, you'd like to take them up the tunnel, out of eyesight. Go ahead and say what you need to say. Be as vociferous as you need to be to make your point. And then the manager comes back out to the dugout and the game goes on. You just hate to see things like that happen where everybody can see him.
And the great irony of that entire situation was you saw Kershaw visibly upset, pulled from the game down 3-0. By the time the inning was over, he was the pitcher of record with a 6-3 lead.
I've told the story before. It happened to me one time with the big unit at Wrigley Field. Took him out of the game after 5 innings. But we were behind in the ball game. This spot was leading off. For all the things he did really well, Randy was not a good hitter. I didn't have much faith he was going to get on to jumpstart a rally. So we pinch hit for him. I mean, 5 innings for Randy Johnson. He could do that in his sleep.
How'd that go over?
Well, he wasn't real happy. He didn't get as visibly upset as Clayton Kershaw did, but we came back to score some runs in that inning, and just like Clayton Kershaw, Randy went on to pick up a win that day, even though he was behind when I took him out of the ball game. Thank goodness.
So Kershaw in line for what would be his 15th win. 15-7. This was his 31st start. He had 9 strikeouts, walked 1. Big cut by Peterson.
Is there any other kind?
No. Alan Webster warming up for the Diamondbacks. Ben Chafin, Burgos, Hessler, Bracho, Stites, and Webster warming up. Stites throwing hard. Missed there inside, 2-2. Kenley Jansen, the closer, is ready. Save last night is 33rd. For Matt Stites to play catch up, really. Battled elbow problems all spring long. Had to open the season on the DL. Didn't get going again until June 1st. And he pitched most of this year at AAA Reno for Phil Nevin. 23 appearances with the Aces, a 3.86 ERA, and as many walks as he had strikeouts. Two and two on Jock Peterson. And it's full.
We did have a full count in the ball game last night. Jock Peterson did not call timeout. It was a little bit of a shock. If you weren't with us at Chase Field, Rick Monday warned us. Peterson always calls timeout on a 3-2 pitch, but he hasn't done it in this series.
Wait for it. Nope. Monday remains 0 for the series. Sky high behind second base. Who's going to get this? Chris Owings has it. Little confusion there. Aaron Hill was under it. CO came in at the last moment.
Second baseman, number 47.
CO's calling for it, which Aaron Hill is grateful for. Aaron was looking right up into the sun. Chris Owings had a little better angle coming over from the shortstop position, able to make the play.
One out for Howie Kendrick. Going to have visions all offseason long of Howie Kendrick lining balls into right center field.
Yep.
He's done it to the Diamondbacks all year long. Double play ball here. Nice shovel pass there by Aaron Hill, and CO turns 2. Stites gets the double play ball after the first 2 reached in the inning. Jansen is coming in. Diamondbacks go to the 9th, down 6-3. Diamondbacks down 6-3. And as promised earlier, it's the Data Strong fan photo. Using the hashtag on the Twitter with the whole thing, AZ Data Strong fan. And it's the zombie bobblehead.
Yeah, somewhere on a dune buggy.
Yeah, doing a little four-wheeling out there. Buckle up. That's our AZ Data Strong fan photo, brought to you by T-Mobile. And the closer is on for the Dodgers. Big Kenley Jansen, 33 for 35 this year to save opportunities. He got number 33 here last night. Threw only 11 pitches, 10 for strikes. He is second on the Dodgers all-time save list. He's only 22 behind Eric Gagne.
Yeah, sinker slider pitcher in his dreams. The reality is he's going to throw nothing but cutter after cutter after cutter in the mid to upper 90s.
Well, there was the one game in the last series at Chase Field. I remember you marked on that a couple of times. It was a lot of sliders, it looked like.
Yeah, he mixed in a couple of sliders. Occasionally he will throw a four-seam fastball that doesn't have the same cutting action, but the majority of the time you're going to see that cut fastball working away from the right-handers.
The rookie Brandon Drury has had another big day here. Tailing away from the righty into the lefty. Drury, now homer to lead off the fourth. He doubled his last time up, 2 for 3. And 7 for 15 in the series. 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs. He's had a big week here. Changed it up there on him.
This will be interesting. I would venture that Brandon Drury has never seen a cutter, at least nothing like Kenley Jansen throws up there. We'll see how quickly he can make an adjustment here, if maybe in one at bat or certainly by the next time he sees it. Yeah, that's one of the issues with closers, is you so rarely get at bats against them. You know, usually they come in 1, 2, 3, ball game over, maybe 4 hitters in an inning, 5 hitting in an inning, and you might not see an opposing team's closer depending on how the how your lineup rolls around.
One thing, when people talk about the decline of offense in the modern game, it's not quite the home run derby it used to be, and you know, the lack of performance-enhancing drugs certainly speaks to that. But it's also the idea that you might face the starting pitcher only twice in a ball game, and then you may have 2 or 3 other at-bats against 2 or 3 different pitchers.
Specialists, guys who are out there in that bullpen just to get your kind of hitter out, whether it be a righty or a lefty.
And they all throw 95. 1 and 2. Good take by Drury.
Real good take.
Well, the polish level on Brandon Drury is surprisingly high for a guy that just turned 23 last month. He's advanced. Gets a hold of this one, shoots it toward the left field corner, and that ball is foul. Just missed a home run.
Tell you, we're not sure how this at bat is going to end up, but he's made adjustments during the course of this at bat.
What have those been?
Laid off that cutter off the plate away that very easily could have been a swinging strike 3. He got on a cutter that was up in the zone, and that time Kenley Jansen left one inside, and he put a good quick swing on it and just missed foul down the third base line. You know, after you've seen it a couple of times, you got a little bit of a better idea of what it's going to do. The velocity on the pitch, how much movement is it going to take? Where does it need to start for me to be able to put a good swing on it? And it looks like he's figured it out a little bit here in this at bat. Hopefully it'll end well for him.
And you have to think about all of that in like 0.3 seconds.
Yeah.
So go get him.
Ripping another one up in the zone.
Brandon homered here Tuesday, a 3-run shot, the first of his career. A solo shot here today to lead off the 4th. And this is a big league at bat.
I'd love to see it end well for Brandon Drury. Reward him for this adjustment that he's made during the course of this at bat. Very impressive.
Locked him up, but he didn't get the strike call from David Rackley, and it's a full count 3-2.
He locked up everybody but A.J. Ellis. That's the slider. Right up there near the top of the strike zone.
Tell you what, Brandon Drury today struck out in his first at bat against Clayton Kershaw, but it was a 9-pitch at bat. Homered off Kershaw, doubled off Nicasio. Now he's turned in a big time at bat here against the closer. Gets it in the air toward Crawford at the track. Carl Crawford runs it down just shy of the bullpen fence.
That's one of those at bats that'll go down as an 0 for 1 in the scorebook. But if you talk to Turner Ward and Chip Hale, they'll tell you they loved that at bat.
A 10-pitch at bat against Kenley Jansen.
Ends up with a line drive right in front of the Dodger bullpen.
After just missing a home run earlier in the AB.
Very impressive.
Jake Lamb will get an at bat now. He'll hit for Chris Owings. Pitcher spot due up next, and David Peralta is in the on-deck circle. Jake 275. He's got 6 home runs. Peterson in center, shaded over toward left center field. All kinds of room in right center for Jake Lamb. I don't think we're going to have that much room on the bus ride to San Diego.
Oh, no. Full house.
Jake was 1 for 3 last night, his only action in this series, with 3 left-hand starters going for the Dodgers. Now, what's the approach against the cutter for the left-hand batter versus the right-hander Drury?
You just have to be, you almost have to imagine the pitch is 3 or 4 miles per hour faster than it looks, because that cutting action is going to put it down near the trademark of the bat. If you take a swing where you feel like you're right on it, it's going to get in on you a little bit. Really have to be quick.
Left it out over the plate, but he popped it up left center field for Peterson. And David Peralta, last man standing. David 8th in the National League in hitting at .311. He's got 16 home runs. 3 for 9 in the series with a pair of RBIs. He was 0 for 3 with a strikeout last night. The win will move the Dodgers' magic number down to 4 with only 10 left to play. They began the day with a 7-game lead over the Giants atop the NL West. Giants at San Diego later tonight. And the Diamondbacks will finish the season series 6-13 versus Don Mattingly's ball club, and 2-8 here at Dodger Stadium. 0-2 on Peralta.
Tried to go back to that slider again here against David Peralta, dropping on that outside corner, but David fouls it off, wastes that pitch.
Diamondbacks had a 3-0 lead in this game with Clayton Kershaw gone. But the Dodgers got a 6-run fifth. Jansen trying to close out a 6-3 ball game. And Peralta really battling here. Six-run LA fifth inning highlighted by Chris Heisey's grand slam off Andrew Chafin. Another pitch on 1-2.
Running up a pitch count on Kenley Jansen. That's his 22nd delivery here in the 9th inning. Might make him unavailable for tomorrow's ball game.
That's a shame. That's the ball game, and that's the season series. Diamondbacks get their first 2 wins, however, here at Dodger Stadium. They split the 4-game set. They had Kershaw on the ropes, leading 3-0 with Kershaw out of the ball game, but it's a 6-3 LA win.
Now you'd like to think the Diamondbacks have at least turned the corner in this ballpark. Yeah, you wondered how long it was going to be before they won a ball game. Played really well in the first 2 games of this series. Just let this one get away today.
3 hours and 21 minutes. D-backs finish up 6-13 against the Dodgers this year and 2-8 in Los Angeles. Diamondback Live pregame show is next. Postgame show, pardon me, is next on Fox Sports Arizona. Todd Walsh has reaction from the clubhouse. And we are off to San Diego, 1-3 tomorrow night against the Padres at Petco Park. Patrick Corbin had a 3-0 lead, but it was a 6-run LA fifth, highlighted by Chris Heisey's grand slam. And the Dodgers salvage a series split with a 6-3 win in the finale. Diamondback Live postgame show.